Hello. All right. Everyone. Hi, everyone. Come on in. Settle in. Come on in as if this were a classroom, but feels like it. Letting people in. All right. Okay. Hold on. Letting people in. There we go. Oh, no. Hold on. Okay. All right. Everyone's popping in. Hi, everyone. How are you? Nice to meet you. You're all welcome to, speak and say hi.
Hi.
I'm kind of laughing because I'm distracted letting people in, so I'm not really watching you yet. So it's kind of weird to say hi to someone who's not watching you, but here we go. All right. Okay. How's it going? Hi, Carol. Hi, Isabella and Emma and Johnny and Joyce and Faye. Wow. From the summer class. Nice to see you, Jean and Megan, Nina. All right, wonderful. So many new faces. I've been teaching so many classes over the last few months where many times I teach these classes where I get to see different people from different places. And this time in summer, a lot of you guys are new to me, which is awesome. I like meeting new students and new people. Go ahead and when you have a second, open up the chat and give a little hi or welcome or something like that, because that's part of how we track attendance. So once you come in, you don't need to say anything in particular, just say something so that I can see your name up here. Here we go. So we have a relatively smallish group. I've been teaching these really full classes, so it's a pleasure now and then to be able to have smaller classes that I can spend a bit more one-on-one time with you guys. It's also a pleasure that they let the class continue, because for a few days it seemed like we were teetering on the edge, but we got enough students. So yay, class is happening. So just enough. But some of them can't make it today. And we're going to talk a little bit about how to make up classes and stuff like that. But one of the things you might notice on the top left is that this class is being recorded. And it's solely to be able to support you. I've been teaching so many tech classes since the pandemic started. And I used to teach online before, but this is different. This is really live on Zoom, which is not the same as an online asynchronous course. And people are loving the recordings because after class is over, I post them to a link that only the class sees. So they're on YouTube, but they're only for this class. So it's not public. And you get to review anything that you need to that went by too fast or that you'd rather hear again or something like that. And it's like one of the most favorite features of these Zoom classes. So but I'm saying that so that no one feels intimidated asking questions or anything, because it's only us, the same ones who are here, who will be able to see the recording, and they already heard you ask the question anyway, right? So yeah, so that's really good news. Hi, Jean, nice to see you. I want to introduce myself. There's so many new faces. My name is Diana Musacchio. I know no one's going to ever get the last name. And the reason I say Diana instead of Diana is because I'm from Argentina. So I say it in Spanish, but you're welcome to say it in whatever language or sound you want. For the most part, if I'm seeing your face, I can usually kind of grasp that you're in trouble when I see your desperate faces. And if I'm not seeing your face, then I'm going to count on you to let me know when something is needed. it's very, 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 very important for me that you really participate and tell me when something is not working. I'm the kind of teacher that I want you to tell me. I don't just kind of blabber on and drop people like flies on the way to my goal. Rather, I make sure that everyone is well taken care of and that we all make it to the end of the class together with you understanding everything that I teach and you're able to accomplish it. That said, many times you need a lot more practice, which is why the recordings are awesome for you to keep practicing during the week. But please stop me and say, hey, explain this again, or tell me that again, or it's not working like that for me, or whatever you need to say is crucial for you to not be left behind. And since normally in class, I'll walk behind you and see if you didn't get something and I can tell you how to move forward, but here I can't see your computers. So you'll have to tell me, oh, wait, hey, hold on, explain, you know, so I really need you to actively say things like that for me to know to help you. Also, this class is a smorgasbord, so to say, of applications. You don't need to be an expert in any of them, but some of you might know one or another. We're going to be using Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, and Adobe InDesign, plus Adobe Bridge. So those are the 4 applications that we'll be using for this class. And as you can imagine, each one of these applications is a full-on deep dive kind of professional application, and there's no way that in a short term you'll deeply dive into each one of these. For that, we have individual classes for Illustrator, quite a few ones, different ones for Photoshop, but not a specific InDesign class yet because of scheduling and things like that. We've not been able to create just a specific InDesign course. So a lot of my teaching here is how to put all of these programs together, which is how you would professionally create any piece that needs to be either printed or published online. And it's a combination of all 3. Bridge is kind of the source for all of the material. So that's why I include that as the 4th option. And so a lot of my information in this class is going to be centered on InDesign, which is the program that most of you know the least. Some of you might be good Photoshop, some of you might be good Illustrator, some of you might not know any of them. Probably many of you don't know Bridge at all. And some of you might know a sprinkling of all of them. But InDesign is the layout program where it all gets put together. So in InDesign, you create that basic setup where you lay out the brochure or the app or the book that you're making or the label or your business card or whatever you're making. It's where you lay out the shape, the size, it's what's going to go to final print. And then you bring in material that you created in Photoshop, or you bring in material that created in Illustrator, and you put it all together in InDesign. So the idea of this class is to teach you what the process of creating a final piece is, and we're going to be using all of them. But I'm not going to in-depth teach you Photoshop or in-depth teach you Illustrator, right? You'll be learning tools from all of them and how they combine and see the similarities amongst them and see the differences between them. And be able to understand the whole process of how to create a final piece of no matter the different output that it's going to have. By output, I mean if it's going to be just a print on your little printer at home, or if it's going to be, you know, 10,000 copies of a coffee table book or whatever, you know, whatever it is that you're up to in life. So that last thing of whatever it is that you're up to in life is really important, because I don't know what you're up to. So if you don't tell me, then I'll just teach the class. But if you tell me, oh, I'm making labels for my botanical products that I'm creating, and then when I'm giving examples, I can specifically explain to you something about your project, or you're doing, interactive PDF for something, and so I'll talk to you. Like, I'll give examples based on whatever you tell me you're up to. So if you're up to something beyond just kind of general learning, but if you actually have, I'm having to do everything for my small business that I just started, and or I'm actually someone who works in design and just want to know more about something. So the more I know about what you're up to, the more I can personalize and speak to you in particular for things that you might need. So I welcome to have you tell me what it is that you're interested in doing. I have we have a very compressed class where we spend many hours together twice a week. So there's a lot of material to process. So if you have a chance to, if you get left behind at some point and you didn't tell me that you wanted to be repeated, or you didn't share your screen, you're going to be sharing your screen to show me things. I want you to know a tip that I'm going to tell you right now, because class has already started and we're kind of 10 minutes into it. So if I say something that's important that you want to hear again, maybe check out again, or practice more, or she said something and I didn't really get it, have a note paper pad next to you and then write down the time. So like at 5:41, she mentioned something important. Write that down and write down. Maybe she talked about strokes, or she talked about color fills, or something like that. Write that down. And then when you see the class recording, I don't edit it. It's the entire class recording, the full 3 and however many hours from beginning to end. And you'll be able to go, oh, I have to go 10 minutes in to see when she said that, or I have to go an hour and a half in to see when she talked about that. You know what I mean? So that way you don't, for those of you who are present to the class, you might not need to sit through the whole thing to find when I talked about something. Rather, you go to the area where I began talking about it and then you cover that whole piece. So it's helpful for you to keep notes like that, because otherwise when you get to the recording, you just have to scroll around waiting to find wherever I talked about the thing you're looking for. So that's just a really good tip I want you guys to remember for when you need to replay material. Now, I have a very strange circumstance today, which has never happened to me on a first day of class, which is, I am sorry for this, because the first day of class is so important to set up the whole class, but my son is graduating high school, and he has been honored with ridiculous amounts of awards and stuff. He's kind of a little genius, and as you hear me talk, I'll talk here and there about different things, but he's a filmmaker and has many awards and stuff. But at high school, decided to give him all kinds of awards too, which I was surprised by. And we were told yesterday about this. So today at 6 p.m., there's a ceremony on Zoom for an hour. And it's really important. My son asked me to be there, and I'm like, I'm teaching the first class and I really don't want to miss it. So I cleared it with the administration, and I'm going to tell you what the process will be, because I really don't want to miss this first hour, but I really don't want to miss his ceremony. So I'm going to teach now until 6 p.m. I sent you an email to your pipeline account, which I'll now show you how to access in case you don't know how to access, explaining all of this, but I just sent it right when the class started. And I'm going to disconnect the Zoom for an hour from 6 to 7 p.m. And then please, I want everyone to join us again at 7 p.m. The class normally goes till 8:15. So then we'll continue from 7 till 8:15. And here's the deal. I have some videos that I recorded for you to watch as to how to access the class materials, how to access VDI. I'll explain what that is. And I sent you the links, and I want you guys to watch those videos, but you have to be inside of Pipeline to watch them. So that's why I need you to access your Pipeline account. I'm going to show you how to get to that during that time. And then, since I'll be losing an hour of class, I am going to stay an extra half hour after 8:15 teaching today, and an extra half hour on Thursday. Now, I know that's like too late for many of you guys, and at 8:15 you'll be like, oh, I'm done. That's fine, because you'll get the recording for the extra 45, for the extra half hour, and then find some time if you can't stay today and for that extra half hour. Please watch tomorrow at some point that little half hour of whatever it is that I taught, so that by Thursday you can catch up, and we'll do that too. That way I'm really making up the time so that you don't lose material, but you might have to be flexible. I'm so sorry. I'm the most I'm here always. I'm never sick. I'm never whatever, but this is a really special circumstance. So basically I'll be teaching for another 15 minutes. I'll explain to you how to get to these recordings, how to get to your class materials and stuff. And then we'll sign off, and then please sign in again at 7 p.m. And then we'll really dive into all of the class material. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Any questions about that before I show you how to get to all of this? Okay, so how many of you know how to get to your pipeline email? Because some of you guys, the pipeline email you don't use at all. If you do know how to get it, go get it, and you'll see that I sent you an email a few seconds ago. A few seconds before I got started, I pressed the play it. And I sent the actually at 5:29. I sent you an email that has 2 links. I'm going to put those links here again anyway. So hold on. So I'm going to put the links right here in the chat. If you look at the chat right now, whoops, hold on, I turned my chat off. I need to send it to everyone. Here's a link. Oh, that's true. Links don't stay. Hold on. I forget that in the chat, the links, the written links don't say. So here's the link for how to access VDI, which I'll explain in a minute. So that's the link to know how to get to VDI, and not all of you guys need it, and some of you do. And then, so copy and paste that. Or, oh, thank you, Mary. Thank you. She's, some of you, when you write directly to me, you guys don't know what he's writing. She's saying congratulations for my son's stuff. And here's the how to access the class materials. All right, so those are the 2 links. This is the same links that I put in your email. When I close this class down, these here in the chat will disappear, right? So either copy them now or click on them right now so they open up in your browser and then they're ready to go. The thing is that if you're not in pipeline, I need to make sure that if it doesn't maybe ask you to access, I want to hear from someone. Click on these links and tell me if you can access the video directly without making you go through pipeline. Is that so? No, then I'll tell you whether you need them. What's that? It's asking. Yeah, so that's why. Yeah, so if you go and access it from your pipeline email and click on that same link, it should let you in because you're in the pipeline email. But I need you to test that because I was told today that there's issues with pipeline and that some people are not able to access it. So can someone who's got, you went, Johnny, to your pipeline email, you clicked on it and it worked? Okay, yeah, good. That's what I needed confirmation. Okay, so as long as, so is anyone unable to get to their pipeline email? Anyone here who needs help with that? Because I can help you with that. Given that you had to jump through the humongous hoops that it takes to register, you probably don't know how to get to pipeline. But inside of that, some of you still don't know how to get to the email. Okay, good. So if you click from inside of that one email, this is why I didn't send it to your personal email address, because people click on it then, and then they can't get in either. It needs to be from inside the pipeline. Okay, so let me explain what these 2 are to see who needs what. How many of you own a subscription, a current subscription to the Adobe Creative Cloud? And you have the applications in your computer. Okay, so I'm seeing about 3 hands, 4 hands. Okay, so you guys, 5 hands. Now, I can't hear you, Johnny, but I heard you, I saw your hand. So unless it's just saying me, then that's good enough. I'm usually in not such a hurry. I usually have a bit more time, but I'm trying to distill all this information. Make sure you get what really matters before I stop. For those of you who own the programs and have them installed on your computer, it needs to be the Creative Cloud subscription. Some people have old versions, and I can handle that when I'm in person. If you bring your old laptop with the old version, because I can help you, but here online that I don't see you, I can only support you on the same, we all have to be using the same version. So if you're in, you have the programs downloaded on your computer, make sure you have Bridge downloaded, many of you don't. Illustrator, Photoshop, Bridge, and InDesign. So if you don't take your time to do that, for people who own a subscription, and then watch the second video, the one you're going to have to download the class files onto your computer so that when I say, okay, open this file, open that, they have to live in your computer. Does that make sense? So those 4 of you who have a subscription, you need to go and watch the second video and download the class files. Now, For those of you who do not own these programs, which is everyone else, you are going to be able to access them through VDI. VDI is Virtual Desktop Interface, which is something that you access on the browser. You open that up, and then from there, you're basically, it's like you drove to school, and you did it on the browser, and you open up the school computer. And when you open the school computer through your browser, then you open Photoshop, Internet, all of that from there. And the files are already there for you. So you guys don't have to download the files onto your computer. You just need to access VDI. That's the first link. So half of you guys need to do the first, and the half of you guys need to do the second one to have the files ready for us to start when we get together again, have the programs open and available. Okay, so even though I'm promising to make up the time, you guys are going to be working from 6 to 7, getting all of this set up and ready to go. And usually I kind of coast you through it, but we take the same hour to do this that you're going to have to do on your own. So if there's questions, you don't have me there to answer. But other than that, it's the same setup, okay, of what we would be doing today anyway. So I'm going to give you a chance to participate. Right now, I'm just talking at you, but when we get back, it'll be more of a back and forth. But I want to make sure that you're set up to do these things. So by 7 p.m., I want everyone to have people who need VDI, have connected to VDI, have been able to access and open the programs, and hopefully access the files. And then people who don't. Now, here's the big caveat, which I hope is not happening. The class that I just finished teaching a class. I teach a class from 1:30 to 5. And that class could not access the files online. And that was horrible. And it's because the school is having an issue with pipeline. And I am hoping it was that class and not everyone. So we won't know. So if you can't access the files, for those of you who are at home, I need you to right now, send me an email, go to Pipeline. And those of you who have Creative Cloud at home, send me a quick email, say, I have Creative Cloud at home, I might need the files. So what's going to happen is that when class starts again, if for any reason the shared drive did not show up and you could not access the files, then I can email you some files to just use for today's class. Okay, I can't email you everything, it's a ton of files, but I can email you something that you can get started. Okay. Okay. You don't have access to Google Doc. Joyce is asking me a question that you guys don't see. I thought they had fixed your Pipeline account. Okay. So Johnny, you have CS6, which, as I said, it's different enough at this point that when I show things, if yours is very different, you'll have to be sharing your screen all the time for me to help you. I would say try both. Try to learn how to do the VDI so that if when you use your own, the features we need are not there, then you just use VDI. You know what I mean? And if you can make it with your set, then that's fine. You know what I mean? Just try to go it both ways, and I'd be more than happy to support you using your own. I'll also teach you that as a student, you can, give me 1 second because I need to turn your sound off and say something to my son right now who's asking when I'll be done. Give me 1 second. That's the benefit of having your office in the middle of the living room. Hearing everything that's going on around you. Oh, great. Someone just showed up and they'll have to get all this explanation. All right. So here's the deal. Joyce, could you get your Pipeline email or not at all? And his or her sound isn't working. So I'm waiting for the chat answer. Yes, you can. All right. So were you able to click on the link and see the videos? Right. Because if you can get your Pipeline, you should be able to watch the videos. So hi, Greg. catching you up for a second. I'm gonna have to reduce a half an hour worth of class. Oh, and now Jenny's showing up. Okay.
Why?
Bad timing. I have to leave in 4 minutes, and to Greg, hi Greg, and hi Jenny, if you can hear me. I just set everyone a task. I need to leave the Zoom for an entire hour from 6 to 7. Extenuating circumstances. I've explained it all to everyone else. You guys just trust me, I wouldn't do this lightly. Please access your emails. Both Jenny and Greg, everyone else already tried it. I just sent you an email with 2 links. If you have the Adobe Creative Cloud applications downloaded and existing on your computer, then you just need to download the class files. I sent you a video of how to do that. If you don't have them and you need to use the school's applications, which you can for free, then you have a video of how to access VDI. So at 7 p.m., we'll reconnect, hopefully 7:05 in case the thing goes, you know, they say it's an hour, so maybe 7:05. If not, hang out. I'll get back as soon as I can. Meanwhile, watch the videos, download the files, connect to VDI. And the caveat I was saying is that, Joyce, you're going to be the only one who's an issue. I'm going to see if I can give you access. I can't give you access if you can't access Google Docs. Joyce, I'll help you out when we get back at 7 then. Okay. She has an issue with her pipeline account, and without having it, you can't do this, but I'll figure out how to help you when we get back. So everyone.
Sorry, I just tried to log into Pipeline and it's not working at all. Pipeline issues, some users reporting errors, too many redirects. It's not work, like the whole page isn't working.
That's a different issue. That's a different issue. It's so bad to have the first day to have all these pipeline issues, and they just sent me a whole letter from IT going, I'm so sorry, we're fixing it, but it is usually a worst case scenario, because that's where all the materials are for the class, right? Because we're doing this online, but we'll figure it out. Here's the thing. If at 7 p.m. you email me during this thing and say, you know, the files were not accessible because I'm having the issue that Isabella have, whatever, I will put together a basic set of files that I can email you. That's that we can get today going, which if you have the applications at home, that's fine. It's the VDI people who need to be able to access the programs, because if not, you can't even, you just have to watch the class. You know what I mean? So VDI people, figure out how to get in to the, to open up the programs on your computer. I'm looking that way because most of my EDI people were there. And those of you who have them at home, if you can't download the files, that's fine. For today, we can create from scratch. Normally we do the first day anyway, so it's not a huge big deal. I'm hoping they fix it by Thursday, because by Thursday we do want the files. So do your best. If it's pipeline, there's nothing I can do about it either. They're working like crazy around the clock at school trying to fix whatever's happening. And that's all I can say right now. So any questions before I sign out for an hour? Isabella, or is Isabel? Is it Isabella or Isabel? Oh, I'm saying
Isabella, but either one.
That's fine. One option, sometimes when you get the error you're getting, it's another pipeline issue that they're having right now. Try a different browser that you might have not normally accessed pipeline from. So say that you use Chrome, go to Firefox or go to Safari or whatever you have, and try that way. And sometimes that gets you around for your particular issue.
Or clear the cookies and the cache, and then, you know, the history, and then sometimes that works too.
Yeah, and if you clear the cookies and the cache, follow the instructions. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, though.
Yeah.
I have 2 browsers that aren't
I
letting me
use
in
like
right now.
a browser that like blocks a bunch of, I mean, I use like Brave, but it usually works on Brave.
I know it, because right now the issue is beyond browsers. Right now the issue is systemic. Anyway, it's starting.
Bye, Diana.
Bye guys. See you guys in an hour. Sorry.